I would have to disagree that $2,100 a month is damn cheap. And a lot of people have commented this, but it's just not true. So I'm going to explain why. The national average salary in the United States right now is $59,000, and $59,000 after taxes, your take home every month is about $3,800. So if you are a household or a single person living off of that one salary, that rent right there is more than half of what you're making. And that's just the average. So of course there's going to be people that are well below the average who cannot even afford a $2,100 rent that you guys are saying is cheap. Now, I'm not ungrateful at all. I'm blessed that we are able to afford this $2,100 of rent, which we got at this rate because we moved during COVID, during the height in 2020. We moved there in 2020 during the height of COVID, and they were having a really good deal because they were desperate to get people in. Now, unfortunately, that rent is about $3,000, but why are we normalizing? Why are we normalizing $2,100 a month of rent as being cheap when the majority of people in the United States don't even make enough to afford this type of rent? So many people have roommates. So many people who are families and have multiple children are living in an apartment instead of living in a house, which is what we are saving for. We're never going to own this apartment. We're all just throwing our money away, renting instead of buying. We have no buying power right now as millennials and as Gen Zers. Why aren't we able to afford to buy things like the generations before us did? How come we're the ones that are screwed? I was born and raised in California. It's not going to be possible for me to buy a home here because the average price of houses here, and these are old houses, like 1950s houses, is about $700,000. I thought I made decent money. Last year was the most I ever made, right? I thought that we would be able to afford a house. We're not going to be able to afford a house that's almost $1 million. It's just not going to happen. So I understand people saying $2,100 is cheap. It's not cheap. It's cheaper than other places, but we are all of us are being overcharged for rent, and these houses are insanely expensive, and there's like no chance of most people ever even being able to afford to buy a house in their lifetime. That's sad.
It ain't no way that renting an apartment is this expensive now. Like, what's really going on, bro? Like, the market for apartments is crazy. Not even just apartments, like houses, all that. It's like the norm is like $2,500. Like, what's really going on? How do y'all expect people to get through the week? Just like, I don't get it. Like, bro, I feel bad if you ain't working right now or something. Like, it is crazy. Like, and then it be the apartments that don't even be nothing special about it. It ain't them high-rise apartments. It's the simple one bathroom, 2 bedrooms, living room, and that's it. Like, at the end of the day, bro, the something gotta shake. A reality check has to come in play. Like, I don't know what's been going on these last couple of years, but I don't like it. Like, bro, you can't even tell nobody, like, yeah, I'm gonna move out and I get 18 to get a man. That's damn near throwing them to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? Like, how motherfuckers be like, your parents be like, hey, you gotta move out when you get 18. I wish motherfucker would tell me if I was 18 right now, move out. You gotta let me get some time to understand what's going on. Like, these apartments are so expensive. And that ain't even groceries, cleaning products, clothes. Like, to the new generation, life is life. And you remember that teacher used to always be like, yeah, once you graduate, you gonna see how life is. No, life is really life. And I'm telling you, life is real.
My paycheck was short $300. I can't pay my rent on time. My car insurance is past due. It's like over $300. My energy bill is past due, and I've been paying little bits, and that's over $900. one of my senior technicians quit. And I tell you guys all the time that when you have struggles like this and you feel like you just have you don't know what to do. I have a wedding to save for. I'm going to practice what I preach because I know God's got this. For any of you guys in the same boat, let's pray together.
And this is why I'm big on telling my son to just stay at home. Go live in a dorm or stay your ass at home with me. Because these are not the same apartments that we had when I was 18. When I was 18, I had a little $400, $500 apartment. Really, the highest apartment, maybe in a nice area, was like $750. Mind you, we was making like $8 an hour, $8.59, $10. I was a manager at a Foot Locker, City Gear, so I probably was making $11, $12 an hour, right? Still, I was making enough to pay my rent, pay my car note. My car note was only like $198. A time to be alive. Insurance, $120. Easily could afford everything. This shit right here is what y'all like to say, diabolical. Weird. Weird as fuck. There's no way people are surviving off of $15 an hour. So that's why you need 2 people making $15 an hour. Now you got somebody making 30. Really, you need 4 people because this shit is ridiculous. In order to pay car insurance, Wi-Fi, car payment, rent, food, personal expenses, and then any kind of fucking mistake or error that happens, you got to deal with that shit. If you miss one paycheck, shit fucked up. And I've seen this a million times in an office. Somebody coming there every other day, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you, I need to talk to you. Only thing I can tell them is pay by the 15th to try to avoid the eviction. If you don't pay by the 15th, you're going under eviction. And after that, it's just a process. They want all their money in full. So it's like we start digging that hole, those fees and late fees, and oh my God, now you have anxiety because you was owing $1,500, now you owe $3,000. You look up again, now you owe $4,500. Now you look up again, that shit say $5,000. That shit say $6,000. At this point, when you come here telling me you got $600, I'm looking at you like you might as well take that and just move. Go ahead and get you a U-Haul because that ain't even gonna put a dent in your balance. And I'm not in the business of taking your money if it's not gonna really help you. I want you to be able to move because one thing about it, when the sheriff comes, they don't give a fuck. They're gonna tell you to get out the way. And honestly, the most slimiest shit I've been seeing is that a lot of people don't even want to warn the people. Of course, it's your business. You need to keep up with what was going on with you by going to court, calling the magistrate to see what's going on. But honestly, it's too fucking cold to not warn people that they getting put out. So, you know, that's just not my mood. That's not how I work. But I have seen people that don't warn them that, hey, the sheriff is coming. And I understand it's a safety precaution. But goddamn, I'm tired of seeing people outside with newborn babies. And some of these people don't even have a vehicle. Like, what are we doing? Like, humanity is doomed. Well, the United States is fucking doomed. Like, I don't know. I'm just getting on here to talk about it because everybody around here with the aesthetic, they going shopping, they buying shit, they living their best life. And that's cute. You got one side of TikTok and Instagram that's lit.
So how are y'all staying in these apartments for years? Because my apartment raised the rent during the renewal by $100, which is way lower than what I've heard other people have to pay at renewal time. But after 3 years, I'm paying $300 more a month. For what? Because nothing's changed. And then they have the nerve to put it on the website for a lower price. No. And it's like, I would love to go all out on decorations, but when it's time to move out, I gotta take all that down? No. But seriously, how are y'all staying for so long? Because I love when I see people decorating their entire apartment and they've been there for 5 years. How? At some point, did they just stop raising the price?
Ever see someone on TikTok showing off their $8,000 per month apartment and think, yeah, I'll never be able to afford that? Well, you're not alone. Is Gen Z really living that life, or are we just being sold a fantasy? Well, across the US, especially in cities like New York and LA, the cost of rent is insane. Rent has gone up so much that it's not uncommon for young people to spend 70% of their wages on housing. And when you're spending that much, what's left for everything else? Financial experts say say that rent should be about 30% of your income. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you should be looking at rent around $1,250. Sounds easy enough, right? Well, in cities like New York, the median rent for a one-bedroom is around $3,000. To stay within the 30% rule, you'd need to be making $10,000 a month or $120,000 a year, which is way above the average Gen Z salary. So people are getting creative, co-living, living with roommates, and taking on side gigs just to get by. With a salary of $45,000 a year, you would need to have a roommate or join a co-living space in order to afford an apartment here in New York City. But that often means less privacy and more shared spaces. So instead of comparing yourself to other people you see on social media, it's important to set realistic goals for yourself based on your own financial situation. As you grow in your career, you can level up your apartment in a way that matches your growing income. And at the end of the day, being smart about money isn't about chasing an unrealistic lifestyle. It's about balancing your goals with what's practical.
You ever look at a studio apartment with zero amenities, paper-thin walls, and a fridge from 2003, and it's going for $2,000 a month? Yeah, same. Let's talk about why renting an apartment in 2025 has gotten so expensive. Because it's not just you, and it's not because you eat out too much. Rent is high because the entire system is out of balance. First off, demand is up. Everyone needs a place to live, but there aren't enough affordable options to go around. And when something is in demand, prices go up. Simple supply and demand economics. Then you've got corporate landlords and real estate investors snatching up entire apartment buildings and turning them into cash machines. They're not trying to build communities, they're trying to maximize profits. So yeah, the rent keeps rising. Oh, and let's not forget the rise of luxury units. Developers are building high-end buildings with rooftop pools and dog spas, but almost nothing affordable for regular people. And guess what? Those luxury prices drive up rent in the whole area, even if your apartment doesn't come with a single perk. And while all of this is happening, wages haven't kept up. Rent goes up every year, but your paycheck? Not so much. So now, people are spending half or even more of their income just to have a roof over their head. To make it worse, some cities have no rent control, which means landlords can raise the price however they want, whenever they want. Moving? That's expensive too. Security deposit, first and last month's rent, application fees, pet fees, admin fees. It's a trap. So yeah, rent is high, not because people are irresponsible, but because the system is stacked. And it's getting harder and harder for everyday people to just live comfortably. Let me know in the comments, how much are you paying in rent right now? Has your rent gone up this year? And what would you be doing with that extra money if housing wasn't so expensive?
I can't be the only one. I'm in Utah, and yesterday we went to the grocery store, and this has happened several times in the last couple of months, where the grocery store attendant, this was actually the manager at the checkout, stating that grocery prices are going to go up. Is anyone else experiencing this? What are your thoughts?
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm over these prices on everything. I just left from Walmart. I spent almost $200 on nothing. On nothing at all. Nothing at all. You know, I ain't broke. I don't mind spending it. I don't mind spending it at all. Sometimes you be like, okay, I'm gonna spend some money for sure. Nothing on my receipt is over $15. Nothing on my receipt is over $15. And it's not a long receipt. I don't think I got that much for almost $180 worth of shit. There's no way. There's no way. I kept looking at the receipt, looking at my shit, looking at the receipt, looking at my shit. They had to give me. They had to give me. I calculated everything on this receipt. Like, there's no way. The receipt is right. The receipt is right. Wow. I feel like I didn't get shit. So I don't feel like it was worth $180. And that's disappointing. Like, if I would have got some big shit, like something on this list over $15, I'm like, okay. But I didn't spend over $15 on one item. I'm stressed.
Oh, how are we doing? How are we doing? Went to the grocery store. Let me show you what I got. It was just a quick run. Trash bags, a few command strips, only 2 pre-made food things, and 2 little Easter basket type things that I'm gonna put in. Little magnets. That's it. That's all I got. $121.
I've been walking around this house confused as hell since I've been back from the grocery store. I just spent $78.39 and nothing can go in my mouth or my belly. Bitch, I'm finna take this shit back. Let me show you guys what I got. I've been trying to figure out if I've been got. Nothing here can go in my belly at all. While I was at the register, I kept looking to see if I was scanning things more than once. I stopped at my car. I said, this can't be right. Now I'm home and I just carried in 3 bags that I could have brought in on my bad shoulder, my bad arm. And I said, this is not lining up. What did I get? What the hell type shit is this? This is all I got. This all I got. What is this? Now, I got 1 potting mix downstairs. I'm ready to put up the buggy. I see this hanging off at the side. So this one was free. Do you think I was going to walk back in there and say, hello, sir, I forgot to pay for this. I made it outside. Okay. So this one was on the side. Didn't see it. I just said, I don't know. I feel like things are missing from my cart. I'm pulling off, about to go about my business. Why do I see my earthworm casting outside? Nobody ran over it. No, nothing. I picked that bitch up because this one was free too. If you think I was going to go back inside and volunteer, my receipt is $78.39 and I don't have anything to eat. And I bought a case of water for $3. You think I was going to go back inside and offer up my money? I got to take something back.
Here's a very hot take that is probably going to piss some people off. America does not have as much of a price of living problem as we do a financial literacy problem. This is not me saying that the price of living is not very, very high in the States, but what I am saying is that people live and spend money completely out of their means because it is very normalized. This was brought to my attention by a finance college professor that I had during a unit on inflation, and the whole class was kind of like bitching and moaning about inflation, myself included, and our professor kind of like snapped on us. He was like, you know what's the problem is that people keep raising prices, but you guys keep buying stuff, all right? And it's not just groceries and food, it's the fun stuff, right? The novelties and the luxury stuff, like you keep buying it, okay? The prices go up, things are harder to afford, and you keep buying it. I'm not talking about eggs. I was inspired to make this video, okay, after I heard, like, on the 20th, DoorDash and Klarna have partnered together. When you dash your groceries or other things from the store, or even just fast food, you can now split up your payment, where you will owe installments to Klarna. Okay, newsflash, if you cannot afford to pay in full for something to be delivered to you, don't buy it. Just walk. Drive, anything, get it yourself. It's been so normalized to spend out of your means that now we are here in the situation where we have to split up payments for a $20 DoorDash.
If you've noticed your grocery bill doubling or even tripling over the past year, you're not alone. This isn't about bad budgeting or eating out too much. This is a real cost of living crisis, and it's affecting millions of people. People shouldn't have to choose between paying rent and buying groceries. They shouldn't be stressed out trying to afford fresh food. But here we are. Groceries are a basic human need, not a luxury.
If y'all did not think we were cooked before, I just went to Walgreens because I needed deodorant, and then I had a coupon for mascara, and I'm running out of mascara, so I was like, great, I get $7 off if I buy 2 items from L'Oreal. So I got these and this, and these 2 Dove deodorants. Guess how much it was before I used rewards? 68 US dollars! 68! If y'all thought we were not cooked before, we're fucking cooked now.
People are out here doing mental gymnastics in the aisles, calculating every item like it's a math test just to feed their families. The wild part? No one seems to be addressing it. The prices go up, the portions get smaller, and somehow we're just supposed to deal with it.